HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Weekend edition. I'm LaDawn Davis. Thanks so much for joining us. It was back in January when officials of the College of the Bahamas Union of Students made it clear that they did not agree with the government's proposal to consider reducing subventions to the College of the Bahamas by 25% over the next fiscal year and to slash subsidies to the college by no less than 45% over the next 5 years. The student union group held rallies and press conferences to make their statement known. They even met with Prime Minister Perry Christie. Well, on Friday, it was the Prime Minister's turn to challenge COBAS on their grounds. Prime Minister Perry Christie was the keynote speaker at COBAS's Youth Leadership Conference closing out ceremony. That story tonight from Altavis Munnings.
Reminiscing on his college days in the United Kingdom, Prime Minister Perry Christie informed the College of the Bahamas' Union of Students about being elected president of his university's debating society that afforded him the opportunity to meet and dialogue with those in authority. And with all the issues facing the future of our country, Mr. Christie challenged COBAS executives to do their part to change society.
I'm elected to position our country to enable you to aspire to get the best education you can and to be able to participate in the country, to contribute to its development. And I'm someone who is accountable to you for what I do. But likewise, you are accountable to us.
The Prime Minister also focused on the need to diversify the economy. Our rich and unique resources enables billions of dollars in export. Mr. Christie believes those funds can stay right here at home with the academic and professional skills acquired by our college students.
At what stage will we in the Bahamas, knowing all these things, be able to make that leap and have the brooches made in the Bahamas of our natural resource? The challenge to the country now is through studies on manpower assessments and needs to be able to guide the institution that we have here towards ensuring that the manpower needs of the future are met.
And that manpower can fill a void in sectors Bahamians have yet to venture in. Take, for instance, the environmental possibilities for employment in Inagua.
You must know that Inagua has 100 species of birds. You must know it has the largest groupings of flamingos, wild donkeys, the Bahamian parrot. Wherever there's salt in abundance, there is that kind of that. Where high school students could come down to study the life of the shrimp through its various stages. But yet, we can read about there being 30 million Americans, or 30 million, yes, who are interested in looking at bird life.
Altavis Munnings for the ZNS News Network.
The leader of the Free National Movement is calling for immediate action to be taken against illegal gambling in the country. At a press conference this afternoon, FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis told reporters that members of his party and right-thinking Bahamians are outraged at the delay by the government and the police commissioner to enforce the law in the web shop saga. Just a few days ago, a conservatory order preventing the police from closing down web shops that was granted by Senior Justice John Isaacs was overturned by Chief Justice Sir Michael Barnett. An application by web shop owners for a full injunction pending trial was also denied. The opposition leader lamented that National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage should stop with the lame excuses and carry out his leadership duties, and referred to the minister's comments made in a local daily this past week.
Nottage is quoted in Thursday's Tribune as saying that shutting down illegal gambling in web shops was, I quote, not my job. Not his job? Well, Minister, as Minister for National Security, it is in fact your job to ensure that the police have the resources and necessary support to enforce Bahamian law. It is your job to ensure that the leadership of the police force has the necessary will and determination to enforce the law.
The opposition leader later reminded Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade about his comments made back in January, assuring that if Bahamians voted no on referendum day, that the police has a plan of action. But Dr. Minnis says that plan of action has yet to be carried out.
If that was so, how is it that only now the police are beginning to launch an investigation? How could the police have had any kind of realistic plan, which was already being developed in January, without apparently having previously done any investigations before the January news conference and between then and now? Urge a forthright and immediate course of action by the police to obtain search warrants, to close down all illegal gambling and lottery operations, and to confiscate all computer terminals, servers, and ATM machines which are being used to facilitate illegal gambling and illegal money transfers.
National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage told reporters outside of the House of Assembly this past Wednesday that the police has to initially be provided with the order to close down web shops, and the government will get the advice of the Attorney General on that position. However, Minister Nottage says it's not the minister's job to tell the commissioner how to do his work. Dr. Nottage maintains that the police commissioner will work in accordance with the law, and that remains government's position on the web shop issue. And if web shop bosses don't comply and shut down their operations, the security minister assured that the Royal Bahamas Police Force has sufficient resources to do so. In police news tonight, authorities are investigating the country's latest traffic fatality. Police here in the capital confirming that a motorcyclist identified as a 27-year-old male resident of Fox Hill was riding a blue and white Yamaha motorcycle east on Burnett Road when he reportedly collided with the driver of a 2006 Hyundai Tucson around 12:45 this afternoon. Police say the cyclist received serious injuries and was taken to hospital, where he later succumbed to his injuries. Police continue to investigate this matter and appeal to all road users to drive with due care and attention and abide by the laws of the road. 2 men are detained in hospital tonight after sustaining gunshot wounds sometime after 11 o'clock last night. Police confirmed that the incident happened on Fowler Street off East Street. Police are not sure of the motive behind the incident. However, one of the men is detained in critical condition while the other is in stable condition. An active police investigation continues. 2 other men are detained in hospital tonight for stab wounds incurred early this morning. Police report both incidents reportedly occurred as a result of an altercation and resulted in both men being stabbed multiple times to the body. The first incident reportedly occurred around 2:30 on Gannep Tree Street in Pinewood Gardens, while the second incident happened around 3:35 this morning on Nassau Street. Both victims were taken to hospital where their conditions are unknown at this time. And still on police news, a quantity of suspected marijuana was confiscated from a property at Broome Street sometime after 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Mobile division officers conducted the drug bust. However, no one was arrested for that matter. A touching service of remembrance taking place today as families assemble to celebrate the memory of their loved ones, the victims of murder. The service comes as this country still struggles with a high murder rate, which so far this year has claimed the lives of 28 people. Serious crime has impacted the lives of Bahamians all across the country. It's something that has caused police to reevaluate their fight against crime. Retired pastor of New Covenant Baptist Church, Bishop Simeon Hall, facilitated this morning's service.
We have to take draconian measures to face this nightmare of crime. Just spouting about the statistics are down isn't going to cut it.
Definitely. So family.
And so all we're trying to do is to keep the focus that we really need to do a little more. Since we cannot hang, as it seems, since we dare not flog anybody, it seems that we need to find new ways by which to address the crime problem. I'm suggesting that maybe we should consider what some states are doing, 3 strikes and you're out.
7 names were added to the memorial wall on the grounds of the New Covenant Baptist Church this morning. It was erected in the wake of increasing homicides here in the country. When officially unveiled in 2009, it had less than 100 names, now 140 names and counting. The wall is a step in turning around the grim crime picture while giving families an avenue to celebrate the lives of their fallen loved ones.
We are a church. We're not a court. We're not judges. So we just put the names up so that we stand with those families. And on almost a daily basis, certainly a weekly basis, people come here and stand and reflect on the name and the person represented here. And so that's what we are doing. We're standing with families.
And you think that this will help heal families?
I'm hoping this will help to heal. And as people see 140 odd names, maybe that would deter someone from killing somebody else.
And when the weekend edition continues, Cat Islanders pitching their ideas to amend the Constitution. That story and more coming up.